Here we are, Big Tuna and Rooster, Team A, AquaGeto and Tyrant, Team B. Alrighty, so we can see bands are Bog Islands, Golden Pit, Mongolia, Haboob, and picks were Archipelago, Volcanic Island, Enclosed, Hill Fort with a neutral on Crater. Alright, what do you think of those map bands?
Uh, Surprised. Honestly, well, this tournament really didn't play out the way that I thought it would be. I was surprised. It seems like things like Crater, and wow, a Volcanic Island got drafted. Like that one's just crazy. I feel like so. Yeah, a lot of map picks pretty surprising. Enclosed is sort of like I feel like the most standard training map here, and Gold Pit is a regular on the ranked rotations. So those are usually the ones I usually expect to see. But instead, it seems like AquaGeto and Tyrant went for like some pretty unique picks. Big Tuna Rooster more standard. Enclosed is kind of like a more aggressive. Well, I mean it's a more aggressive map, and then you have like Hill Fort. Probably that's for like when you're gonna try to go for late game type thing. Right. Crater, both teams opt like basically the neutral map is a very aggressive map. I think Crater is a very aggressive map. I'm amazed that Gajara's made it through to draft. And especially like not even it was the first pick. I was say it wasn't even like first picked. I was like, oh wait, no, it was first picked. So yeah, so I'm surprised Gajara's made it through to draft at all. I think probably I don't know, like maybe it's just that Big Tuna and Rooster scouted and was like, okay, these guys play Britain's Vikings way more.
Right.
But yeah, I just think that's an interesting thing to see get through, to be honest.
Yeah. Immediately running into the civs since you brought it up, right? Like, wow, Gajara's making it, and the power picks by AquaGeto and Tyrant right off the bat, taking advantage of the Team B side, right? They pick up the Gajaras, and then they pick up Berbers. And if you look at the next pick, right, Mongols Khmer, Berbers are considered the counter to the Mongols, right? So
that's true because the Camel Archer is very good,
Right. So brilliant first two picks, and then you can see the Spanish and Italians coming out for the Archipelago map, right? So they're like, okay, we're gonna have to do just in case we want to take them to water, right? We got the Spanish Italians, right? So talking about the overall drafts, what do you like? What do you don't like?
So at first, if I were like watching this live, I'd say AquaGeto Tyrant kind of win in the draft, right? They pick up the Gajaras, they pick up Berbers, and then Big Tuna and Rooster. You can argue are kind of like counter picking themselves, like you said. It's like picking up Mongols, but it's when we get to like the next set, we get to like the 11, 12 through like 15 to 18. I think that's where Big Tuna and Rooster kind of like pick picks that seem that, in my opinion, work really well. Lithuanians, I'm a big Lithuanians fan, but they're a solid choice for Enclosed. Koreans very strong in Enclosed, and I imagine if they went to Enclosed, that's the civ to pick there. Khmer, though, is great on Crater, in my opinion, because the garrison houses. So I actually think Khmer, because between that and also Volcanic Island, very good picks. So I think both teams drafted really well. I kind of want to I almost want to give it to AquaGeto and Tyrant as having the better civ picks, except that like I'm not super into like two of them. I'm not super into the Spanish pick, and then I always confuse between Bulgarians, Bohemians, and there's like too many bow civs.
That's the Bulgarians, the yellow.
Bulgarians, yeah, but the Bulgarians. It's funny, I recognize them by their icon, not by their name. Yeah. So it's just those two picks I'm not huge on. I know like Spanish are traditionally good on whatever, but I guess like, taking it for Hill Fort. I take it back. I think with the exception of Bulgarians, I think I like AquaGeto and Tyrant's draft more, believe it or not.
Yeah. I'm partial to AquaGeto and Tyrant's draft as well, just because they have some of my favorite civs, the Spanish and Franks. So they're out there, and so I kind of really like those ships. Yeah, just like yesterday, we had some kind of like new picks that are coming out that weren't in the previous rounds. For example, the round 20, we get Dravidians, right? They didn't get used yesterday, but hopefully maybe they get used today, but we'll see. But it's interesting that the teams started drafting Dravidians here in the third places and finals. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff here. Okay, so what do you think they're going to take to Crater? Real quick.
I would expect to see Khmer, and then on the Khmer, I feel like for sure on the Big Tuna Rooster side. I don't know what else they go on there. Maybe Mayans. I don't know. I would really be surprised to see. Well, Mongols actually are fine there too. I don't think we'll see Koreans.
Yeah, no.
Unless they're going like a kind of like an aggressive tower type strat.
Right.
And they want to tower their wood lines.
Right.
AquaGeto and Tyrant. I mean, they have like options here. I mean, Ethiopians. You could do like a cheeky Bulgarians, like man at arms type thing. Berber is going to be good here too, and then I don't know. I think they'll have lots of options.
Yeah,
Gujaras.
I would like to see the Franks come out. You know, easy 19 pop scout attack.
Yeah, like an easy 19, very deadly. I think Franks Ethiopians would be pretty nice here.
All right,
but I'm always like leaning towards someone do the Bulgarian man at arms rush, all in.
Yeah. All right. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm already preloaded in, aren't you? We can just go ahead and jump into the first game here.
I am preloaded in as well.
All right, 30 seconds, correct?
Yep. Want me to count down?
All right, yeah, go ahead and give us a countdown, and we can go.
3, 2, 1,
and
go.
Boom. All right, so you have big Tuna here, Khmer yellow, Rooster here, Mongols red. Okay, so Mongols coming out. Blue here is Tyrant on the Ethiopians, and then teal here, AquaGeto on the Franks.
So we got the Ethiopians, Franks, and Khmer. The only one we didn't get is Mongols. But now, like looking at it, I mean, one of the biggest food sources that you have access to on Crater is the extra hunt. So like at the tree line, you have, I mean, you can see Rooster has 8 Ibex. So it's not a bad idea. And like I said, like Mongols, I think most people think of them as like, oh, you stack them, angry die, castle age time. But they do have one of the better scout rushes in the game because of their higher hunt.
Right.
And they can go archers. There's really nothing the Mongols can't really do. They're just not always like the best at it.
Right. So, all right. So some adjustments here. AquaGeto did a really quick boardler. Right now he's gonna get the deer coming in too, so he's learning really quickly, even before he dropped his first lumber camp. So
that's such a long lure.
Yeah, it's a really long lure here. Maybe it's easier to put the mill on the hillside and get those ibixes, but
yeah. So I think what AquaGeto is trying to do here is just try to get to feudal extremely fast. And the thing is, like, you can be a little stingy with the wood,
right?
Because if you just get one more. Oh, is he gonna? Oh, I think he fucked up the lure. Oh no.
Yeah, it's a little outside of the base. It's all right. It happens. You know, deer are finicky creatures.
But still better than what I would have done.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely.
Okay, so he just did single lure into scouting, it looks like. So I think he's gonna start looking for his opponents.
Right.
Luckily on this map, it's pretty set where your opponent's gonna be. So at least as far as competitive maps go, it's very consistent, right?
All right. Some early scouting coming in from blue here. We have the walling also coming out. Early walling. Look at this wall by red too. Right?
Yeah. Right. Oh, and is blue gonna fuck with his deer?
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to set him behind a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, like if you see your opponent, you know, Mongols, he's trying to lure in deer, and maybe if he decides not to scout forward, like like fucking with deer lures is kind of worth it because your opponent's not getting scouting information. So the only advantage of keeping the scout at home is to lure deer. You can just like mess with that. Also, I shouldn't say the F word so much. Yeah, you can just mess with that.
Right.
But yeah, clean starts I think from everyone overall though.
Yeah. Trying to get as much deer into the base as they can before they have to use up the sheep. Right. So pretty standard stuff. And I think a lesson to be learned here about the really early boars. I think everyone kind of like got it with 6 villies is because you only have 1 boar. So you need to probably like just protect it as much as can.
Yeah.
Right?
If you get your boar lamed on this map, it's a lot worse. But at least the boar typically starts behind the base on this map, so it's a lot harder for someone to not lose their scout. But for sure, if you lose your boar on this map, you basically are in a very tough position. And Tyrant still scouting around Rooster's base.
Yeah, he tried to get some early annoying aggro down. His scout loses some life for it, but I think it'll work out, right? So he got his scout away. Good.
Not sure if the damage was fully worth it, but I don't know. And it looks like, I mean, AquaGeto did end up going back to luring ibixes, so it seems like everyone is kind of prioritizing food collection except for Tyrant.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see if this will work out for him. Yeah, so this is, because here you go. The blue here about Tyrant, right, he put the mill in the back near his wood line so his villagers can just easily pick up those ibixes, right? So he's not worrying about luring, he's just trying to get that, information out as quickly as possible. So some adjustment coming in for the map.
And one thing to be a little bit worried about here is that everyone except for AquaGeto, well, AquaGeto just clicked up. Right. Everyone except for AquaGeto has clicked, with AquaGeto and Tyrant being the last two to click up.
Right.
So they are clicking up on more vills. The question is, how much aggression are they gonna take from Big Tuna and Rooster before they get any of their own military out? It's kind of a bit of a greedier play. AquaGeto going all the way to 20 vills. By the time he gets military out, Big Tuna should have 3-4 archers, and we already see. Well, Rooster is just now putting the barracks up, so he's not going to be queuing up anything right away. No scouts coming out right away.
Yeah, there's a little delay. Usually you want that barracks up about 60% of your feudal age when you're about to hit it. 60%.
Yeah.
But, all right, the archer coming out from Rooster. So we know the Mongols here are going archers. All right.
Okay, and Big Tuna gonna put the stables up. So going scouts.
All right, some scout fighting here from Teal and
Yellow.
Yellow.
And that's very good from Big Tuna, because if he can chase away the scout and they don't know, I mean, they probably expect that scouts are coming, but the thing is, not being able to see them or track them is going to be very big,
Yeah. Same thing going on the left side, right? So Rooster's chasing it away, Tyrant's scout, right? They're trying
and it looks like Tyrant's going to end up losing the scout because of that, unless he can get his scout back to the TC to just separate Rooster scout for long enough. They really. This is, I think, something that we're going to see. So Big Tuna and Rooster are top 100 players or something crazy. They have 3K team elo, and you see it's those small things I think we're going to see with these teams that are really going to set aside the difference, right? Keeping your scout HP is a big deal.
Yep. And here come the scouts, right? So the 2 scouts from Big Tuna, right? The third one coming in from behind, right? I think they're going to focus here on Tyrant. I think that's the deal. What they want to do. The scouts are coming out. Are the scouts coming out yet from... Yeah, the scouts are finally coming out from AquaGeto, right? So double archery range for Tyrant. He's just going to have to be ready to deal with the scout raids, right? So
but I don't...
Spears.
So this is kind of a little bit... Yeah, but see, it sucks because you're now having resources and things that aren't going to give you aggression onto your opponent.
Right.
So it's the problem of coming up a little bit late, and so I don't know. I personally never really feeling like I need to make spears is always a little concerning to me, because it means okay, the only reason I'd be doing this is because I'm already afraid I'm behind.
Does he wall up? Does he wall the wood line? Okay, so he doesn't commit on the dive just yet. He sees a spear, that's why.
Right.
So he's just gonna move around, keep the pressure.
Big Tuna does have 4 scouts, so he could take that spear.
Right. He has
for
5 in total now, gathering up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's 5 scouts now. It's going to take a small trade of AquaGeto. AquaGeto going to pull his scouts away.
Yep.
Not going to lose any.
The base. All right, 4 archers coming out from Tyrant here. All right, so a lot of pings coming out. So
and the problem here is just that Big Tuna's units are
archers. He doesn't get them yet because they hit the tower.
Good call. I think he could have overcommitted there, but he may be able to pick up. I don't. I think he's afraid. I think he doesn't want to overcommit, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
Because right now AquaGeto is there, so if a fight breaks out, it's going to take a while. But Rooster is going to come in for Archer now, so we're going to take this fight, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty good fight for Big Tuna and Rooster.
Yep.
Managed to go 1 for 1 there, though, so not a big deal.
All right, so Rooster's forcing him off the goal line here, pretty much, as much as he can.
Yeah, just getting that free shot in.
Yep. Nice reaction. And he moved his villies right away, out of the way. Right,
yeah, and this is a sort of thing at this high level play, this is we're gonna see they lose 1 unit, right? And it's gonna be okay, that's such a small, for lower elos, you think they lost 1 unit, no big deal. In high elos, when you lose 2 scouts and your opponent has 5 and now you have 3, it's oh shoot, the game is over, it's all over, or at least that's
Yeah.
But So yeah, army numbers looking really good for Big Tuna and Rooster right now.
Yeah, I think the archers are about comparable. It's just the
Yep.
scouts are much in favor of Big Tuna, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 10 scouts in total. Full feudal aggro here. Just pumping them out. All right, they take another archer
and they
down.
managed to take 2 archers out.
Okay,
Great,
so 2 for 1 on the
from
archers,
Rooster.
and then
yeah,
the
now they're
scouts
start
are
trading
coming
on the
fight.
scouts. The big thing here also is that they do have this hill here, so they did a great job retreating to it before, right? And then like just a small mispositioning by Tyrant cost them 2 archers. You know, and basically all the momentum right now is a little bit for Big Tuna and Rooster. Like they're putting on the pressure. So
definitely putting on the pressure here.
Yeah, they don't even have to like really like
nice split.
Worry about their eco at home.
Yep.
You know, and that's like a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
Big Tuna just rocketing ahead in the score.
Yeah, yeah. He's on 35 bills, right? This is the prime area where you can start thinking about clicking that castle. All right, so the fight's coming down.
It's gonna be a big fight, and I actually think this is gonna go really well for Big Tuna.
They're getting some archers though. Oh, the red archers are going down, but
good stuff from
there's no teal scouts.
Right? Yeah, but they just got melted, and that's huge. That is so huge because now. Yep, and there we go. The GG's already called.
Wow, they already called it GG. Oh my goodness.
It's like I said, like so at this level, like so imagine like what could happen because you can't wall up that wood line very well, right? So what ends up happening is that those scouts now could just run straight through wood line,
right? And
there's nothing there to stop them, and it is kind of over.
Wow, what a way to end the game, guys! I don't know what to say, but dang, it just feels like. Wow.
I still think maybe the resign was called a little too early though.
Yeah, maybe they were just a little bit off their game. Maybe a bit of a mentality thing here going on, but wow. Yeah, I mean totally different from what we saw yesterday where, you know, it was a lot more back and forth and a lot of much more grittier game. Here was kind of like one clean fight and that was the game decider. I'm just shocked.
Well, so it's when I played a lot with what's his Dieter. I was playing some ranking with Dieter or whatever. I remember we played a game on Gold Pit, right? And we were queuing. I was queuing nonstop queuing archers. He was going knights, right? And the enemy team was going knights archers, also, you know, classic, right? And we got to the middle first, and we technically had map control, but we weren't really like winning. Like we didn't really, we were pushing on Invesias, anything like that, right? And suddenly we managed to take a really good height on the hill, right? And the enemy didn't surrender, but from then on, the fights, like the game basically just like was over, right? Mm-hmm. You just can't take bad fights at high levels. Like one bad fight can cost the entire game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just throwing away all those resources that you pumped into the military, and then oh well. All right, let's go into the pick and bans right away here to see what we can do or what will come up here. All right. Wow. Okay. If you're AquaGeto and Tyrant, do you go open or do you go a little bit more closed on the water?
I go closed, dude. I go closed.
Yeah, I think
I would be like, fuck, I'm not playing on this jank ass volcanic crater map. I'm gonna play on the jank island map instead.
Yeah, I think this is what you do, right? If the open maps are not working for you, if you're not comfortable on them, you just got to go into the water map. So I guess you're gonna have to play something like Spanish Italians, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Berbers would have been nice here too because they get the faster ships, right?
Yeah, the Berbers would have been nice here too. You can even, I think, Dravidians also count as a naval civ, so you can actually play them as well. So
sure. What don't the Dravidians do? The Dravidians, they're an archer civ, infantry civ, cavalry civ, siege civ, naval civ. They do your taxes.
Yeah. If we go in on water, right, as the option here, you do have Portuguese for Big Tuna and Rooster, so that's good. But what do you do? Maybe melee? Oh, you can also do Koreans, I would think, right? So
yeah, because the extra wood bonus is going to help you get ships out faster.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do like that pick.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar. I feel like I would have leaned like Italians, Berbers, but I guess like there's other options. So I feel like Italians are okay. Thanks, Jewel. Sorry for complimenting Dravidians too much. Italians, I feel like is the go-to. Portuguese go-to. Korean makes sense to me, to be honest. Like I don't see who else they go here. I don't really know about AquaGeto and Tyrant. What else they go here? Yeah. I'm a big fan of Spanish. I hope they go Spanish.
Yeah, for those the better elite cannon galleons. Yeah, that would be nice to actually have the Spanish come out here. All right. So let's see. Shall we go ahead? I'm loaded in.
Oh, I have to load him.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel the strategy here is try to get a game on a map that's a little bit more close. See how their late game is. Right. But it looked like Big Tuna and Rooster are comfortable going late because they did draft Hill Fort. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Big Tuna and Rooster's draft is really nice because if they lose on something like Archipelago, they'd be like, okay, let's just go to the open map that they struggled, right? All right, I'm loaded in.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch. And yes, looks like we are in our Archipelago here with the game. And okay, so we have 3, 2, 1. All right, so Portuguese, yellow, Big Tuna, followed by Rooster in Koreans in red. All right, then teal is AquaGeto Italians, and blue is Dravidians. Okay, so the Dravidians come out when the Koreans come out.
Okay, so I'm not. So I was not familiar with the Dravidians bonus, but looking at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, 100%, dude, they were gonna go with this. Like just looking at it, plus 200 wood when advancing to feudal age is like huge, and fishermen and fishing ships carry plus 15. That one's not as. I mean, that one's nice. It's a nice eco bonus, but like the plus 200 wood is like a huge deal.
Right.
And they have every naval text and the Caravasai, right? Docks being also a house is a huge bonus. Wow, I love the Dravidians for this map.
Yeah, they're a pretty powerful water civ, even though their unique unit I think comes out in the Imperial. So
True, but they have a lot going for them even before then.
Right.
Then you have Italians, cheaper fishing ships, cheaper docks.
Right.
Faster advancing. I think they also have a full dock as well. So
yeah.
I love those civ picks. Wow, I like just based off civ picks alone, I would give this to Tyrant and AquaGeto. Yeah. But I actually feel like last game too, I felt the same way. Like I felt like they had the civ picks,
Yeah, I do like how the Portuguese pick for Big Tuna, right? Their caravels are really strong in en masse, right? They can probably, so we'll see. Do they do caravel and turtle ships? Do we get turtle ships, guys? I want to see some turtle ships here. All right.
I wish. I do not think we're going to see turtle ships except for the memes. But yeah, Portuguese also really strong naval civ. Cheaper gold, higher HP ships. So even though I would expect the Dravidians will, because the bonus wood, they'll be getting more ships out faster. Portuguese, if you have the same numbers, should win basically every single fight. And then the unique tech giving extra armor to their ships is going to be a big deal. So Koreans not as ship focused, right? But definitely they're going to enjoy the bonus, the wood savings essentially.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at the dock positions because that tells us everything what's going to go on. Tyrant going a little forward, so a forward dock, right? AquaGeto defensive, I would say, a defensive dock. Rooster also defensive.
I would say it's defensive. That's actually a very hard dock to approach, AquaGeto's.
And then here we go. We have another defensive dock coming out from Big Tuna. All right, so I think we're going to expect a couple of boomy game. And I think the initiative will be Tyrant, right? He'll try to get the initiative out with the ships here.
And that should be the case because the thing is about those that wood bonus, that's going to mostly matter in the feudal age. It's not going to be like a huge deal before then. And it doesn't look like the Dravidians really have a military bonus for their ships. So you're not trying to get... So their navy seems more focused on getting ships out quickly, because they're saving on population space and they get that bonus wood. Just ships out quickly to do damage, right? Not that they're bad in the late game. Obviously they're good in the late game too, but they don't have like Castle Age. They don't have something that's making their ships better than anyone else's galley and war galleys, right?
Yeah.
So they need to do damage quick, I think.
That was an incredibly long idle time from AquaGeto's fishing ships. Incredibly long for that first ship. I was just sitting there watching it as you were commentating. I was like, what is he doing with this fishing ship? But anyways.
Now, in the late game, so I'm not familiar with it's called Caravasai, right? The unique unit?
For the Dravidians, yeah.
For Dravidians. Caravasai or something?
I think something like that, yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm not as familiar with No, oh my gosh, not even close. It's Therisidai.
Yeah.
Therisidai? Okay,
Right,
anyway, so I'm not as familiar with it as I am with, like, other civs, but I would say if we go to the ultra late game, though, the Portuguese is sort of like is probably arguably like the strongest civ here, right? And just pure bang for buck on your shit.
Right.
Plus, like, gold saving. So I definitely think the pressures here for Tyrant and AquaGeto to kind of like win or be winning by Castle Age.
Right.
To get into the Imperial Age in a very advantageous position.
Right. Yeah, they need to really kind of win water. Let's say they got to win water. That's it. They just got to win water now, right? So a second dock coming in from Tyrant, right?
Love it.
Yeah,
I always love seeing a second dock.
Yeah, but the same thing is coming out. A second dock is coming out from also Big Tuna. So it looks like there's going to be a contest here on the left side, while the right side of the map are just chill with getting their fishing ship and booming. I think that's the plan. I think one side is going to fight and the other side is going to boom.
Yeah. And I think, so this map is going to be, like, very heavily decided on water. So, like, really, like, having a ton of food, eco's not super important here. I mean, like, it is important, but, like, when it comes down to it, when we hit feudal age, you should be queuing up galleys over fishing ships for sure. Like, I think, like, as many ships as you can afford, all your dock time should be basically queuing up military, I think.
All right, so Rooster actually gets a second dock down, and so does AquaGeto. The galleys are coming out from both blue and yellow.
Yeah, Big Tuna instantly queued them. Yeah,
let's see if he gets some galleys going. Rooster, does he help out with the galleys or fire ships? Nope, more fishing. More fishing coming out of Rooster.
And see, that's the thing, like, we were commenting about, like, in some of the other games, like on Bog Islands and Archipelago or whatever, like, sometimes you see, and it was more obvious in, like, Amateur Rec, sometimes you see people, they don't queue up that military, they focus on, like, queuing up more fishing, and it's like, those fishing ships don't matter if they're all dead, you know?
Right. Yeah, I think, correction on the Rooster fishing ships, right, he still hasn't hit feudal, so maybe that's the reason, maybe we'll see the galleys coming out, right? He did it. He went up 28 or something like that. So
yeah. Okay. I'm sure that
Yellow's killing ships. He's killing fishing ships.
Wait, are you ahead of me on time?
No, I'm on 12:08.
Oh, you are super ahead of me.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's good.
All right. Yeah, because I tend to slow down anyway. Slow down a little bit.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right, so one fishing ship is gone. All right, so now the galleys are coming in for the defense, right? And they're going to fight. Let's see who takes this fight here.
Yeah. I think this is really going to come down to micro, but it looks like, good first shot by Big Tuna. And that gives him a lot of momentum in the fight so far already. Like, getting that first shot means you have the HP advantage. So Tyrant has to be, like, more worried and more scared, but he's just going to pull away. And I think neither of them are going to fully commit here.
Yeah. He's going to remove the dock, put it down, bottom.
Right.
I think it's a smarter choice, right? Because you know that the galleys can keep you off that dock. Right?
Yeah,
so...
and one thing here, if you're Tyrant, remember, you don't want to fight with equal numbers. Like, 4v4 is not a winning fight, because, the other guy's ships have more HP. But he is going to try and take a fight with Big Tuna here. Neither ships go down, but Tyrant does get more damage. Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's just kind of a micro battle. Shoot and hit and run, shoot and run, shoot and run. They're playing ADC. All right, so...
Yeah, imagine if ships had attack ground stance. Like, naval battle would be really, really weird.
Yeah. All right, so we have 8 to 9, right? So, he gets one though. Oh, Big Tuna gets one. Does he get another? Does he trade back? Oh, he gets 2. Oh my goodness.
Oh my, yeah, it's just a better micro, and like I said, the ships having more HP means that they can take like one more volley,
Ooh, Ooh. Alright. And and on the other side, just fishing. Alright.
Yeah.
Blue, actually, AquaGeto is sending in some fire ships, so he's coming to help.
Yeah, I would say the sad thing is that, in hindsight, we got some more trading going on between Tyrant and Big Tuna. But the thing I was gonna say is, like, the kind of sad thing is that since Rooster isn't like committing military on water right now, right? If Tyrant had been a little patient, he didn't need to lose those ships. He could have waited for fires to come in from AquaGeto, and they could have 2v1 Big Tuna and easily shut him out of the game. Fire ships are going to come in though, but the question is like, is it going to be enough?
Yeah, so since Teal hits the Castle Age, he's got the galley upgrade for his fire ships. He gets one. Yep, they're pushing him back. Ooh,
yeah, you gotta like this position if you're Tyrant AquaGeto. That being said, now that as soon as the fire ship goes down, you have to pull back.
Yo, we're getting some turtle ships here. All right.
Oh my gosh, we actually are getting the turtle ships.
The turtle ships. They're killing the. Oh, he's killing the fire ships from Teal.
Man.
Alrighty.
That's just so. I wasn't expecting.
We got turtle ships, boys. We got Korean turtle ships. Here we go.
On the west side again. The small trades going back, but they're not willing to commit to the full fights.
Yeah. Yeah. The small fights are definitely going in favor of Big Tuna and Rooster here.
Yeah, and fire ships, not what I would kind of like default to going against turtle ships. Because one of the big problems with turtle ships is how slow they are to engage.
Oh, come on! All right, so
we got the full fight between Tyrant and Big Tuna on the west side.
Fire ships, all right, they're getting some damage in now. They're getting to push here.
Have to pull back.
Yeah. The pressure is now on. Oh, where's he gonna go? Oh, he can sail around. All right, but turtle ships are coming in from red, so coming around the island.
Yeah, they really need to unite. I actually think Big Tuna took quite a few some bad fights.
Teal needs to take his fire ship back.
Fire ships,
or he's gonna lose it.
Yeah, he's gonna lose it probably. I think he's kind of looking somewhere else. He's probably looking towards that south side where he's gonna try and like. He's just kind of losing ships for free, unfortunately.
Right. So AquaGeto is putting the pressure on Red's docks now. He has a lot of fire ships coming in there, and Blue is just raiding as much as he can.
And I like that move, except that I wonder about the cost efficiency of these fire ships versus like, versus the turtle ships. I would take all the fire ships to taking down the turtle ships first before I focus on
the docks.
Because you have 3 just hitting the docks, and it's like they're not taking that thing out anytime soon, you know.
Yeah.
And we have once again trades between Big Tuna and Rooster coming up, but man, in AquaGeto, like, kind of like I think it's because he's trying to pay attention to too many places at once. He loses another fast fire ship on the west side, not fast fire ship, regular fire ship, and then he also loses some on the
east side.
Yeah, on the east side, like.
Yeah.
He does take a turtle ship out though. Yeah.
Blue's going up. Is just now on his way to the Castle Age. He's really behind. The galleys are going to come out from yellow. This might not be good because he needs to run away.
Yeah. Oh man. And if he gets beaten, he might get slightly pinched. But it looks like he's going to get clear. I'm actually surprised it took him so long to click up the castle.
Yeah. Same here, right? Because now he's at a disadvantage on his ships. He really needs galley to come out, and yellow has galleys. Oh no!
Yeah,
this is not a good trade here.
Yeah, they're gonna lose a lot of water control. Oh man!
And then, oh my goodness, the galleys and the turtle ships are just decimating these fire ships.
Dude, the fire ships are just gonna get absolutely obliterated. Like, this was not a fight to take, I don't think.
Yeah, this was definitely not the fight to take. You gotta wait till Blue hit that Castle Age.
Yeah, they don't have the upgrades. They just don't have the upgrades. They don't have the numbers.
Right.
And it just sucks because, like, I think that they don't want to lose that water control. They want to lose it. They don't want to lose their fishing ships, but they're basically spending way more on resources for ships because they're losing way more than the opponents are. And AquaGeto gonna lose almost lose another ship.
Yeah, looks like water control are now the Portuguese and the Koreans. Right, they're gonna push this dock. They're going to destroy it.
Yeah, and here's what Tyrant should consider: maybe like a few demos coming out of those docks.
Yeah, he needs demos to protect. Yep.
Yeah, well, or at least like out of like that one dock that had a bunch of ships close.
Also get some other docks going. Right there you go. He's starting to build. Right.
Podkin Arrow just now researched, but he does not have War Galley just yet. It's about to come in.
Yeah,
comes in.
Yep. All right. But so does he push off these turtle ships? That's the real question.
And it's so many turtle ships. Oh my gosh.
Ooh. Yeah, he needs to get a demo. Maybe mix in some Carvajals with his ships. Maybe those will help. I'm not sure. I'm not a big water player. So here comes. We're getting a big fight here in the English channel. Let's see what happens.
Oh, very nice take. It was a solid fight taken from Tyrant and AquaGeto, actually, I think. But the power of those turtle ships, I'm not sure really what you do here. Maybe even consider like building some mangonels on land and see if you can get some shots. But the GG is actually going to be called.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, at this point, I think they just realized like, wow. And holy crud, Big Tuna and Rooster just playing so perfect.
Yeah, they played it.
Wow. That is not how I expected this was going to go.
I did not expect this to go like this at 2-0 with some masterclass playing by Rooster and Big Tuna. Yeah, GG, well to them. Congratulations to being the champions for Faith of Empires 2 in the upper bracket. Well done. Well,
wow. Congratulations, done. Big Tuna and Rooster!
Congratulations, guys. Yeah, so we were super excited to watch you guys play. I mean, just very clean, like super clean play. Like if you want to watch a masterclass of like how micro and your macro, moving your civ units, coordinated play, right? These are guys to watch. Beautiful, unbelievable, and unbelievable.
Okay.
All right.